Hello Year 3 and welcome back. First math lesson of our new unit. We are going to be focusing on time for the next 2 weeks. So with time to get started. We're going to get started with our do now straight away. So I'm just going to share my screen. That's not our do now. So we need to complete these number lines. So making sure you remember our step success, whether a number line is ascending, that's the numbers increasing, or descending, the numbers decreasing, and then working out that gap between the numbers. So all you'll need is a pen and paper, and press pause, and when you're ready to go, press play. Fantastic. Let's have a look at these answers. Might have spotted that these all the intervals in all the number lines, including the challenge, are intervals of 5. You're either adding or subtracting 5. That fits quite nicely with our lesson today, which is we're going to read time to the nearest 5 minutes. This might be some recap of things that you've done last year, but hopefully this is going to be a good opportunity for you to review some of the content that you did last year on terms to linking to time, and it should be interesting as well, and it's very practical. So let's move on to our steps to success. There we go. So we need to be successful, we need to identify the units of time on a clock. We need to identify and read intervals on a clock, and you need to tell the time within 5 minutes. Let's look at these key words, these star words. So my turn, your turn. Minute hand, hour hand, interval. So this is what we call an analog clock. You might have one at home somewhere, maybe in the kitchen. We always have one in the classroom. I'm going to put a link to some online ones for maybe with some games as well, so you can practice reading them. So first of all, I want us to have a look at how many. What makes up units of time? Now, this is something you might know, but let's have a quick refresher with our good friend, Dr. TikTok.
Out here, do you ever wonder what a clock is for? 12 numbers, 2 hands, 1 tick-tock sound? Well, it's marking off the hours as the Earth turns once around. But wait a minute, what is a minute and what's a second hand? Well, TikTok's here to help you understand. That's 60 seconds make a minute, 60 minutes make an hour, 24 hours in a day. As time keeps ticking away. Pretty cool, huh? A minute is made up of 60 seconds. So if you count to 60, that would be a minute. Now a second hand is simply how we measure the 60 separate seconds that are in it. 1 minute. Then throughout the day, the minutes multiply, turning into hours and to days, which is why 60 seconds make a minute, 60 minutes make an hour, 24 hours in a day. As time keeps tick-tock ticking away. Bye-bye for now.
Very catchy. You could see me dancing along to that, but it's actually a really useful song to remember these facts. Okay, so how many seconds are there in a minute? There are 60. How many minutes are in an hour? 60. How many hours in a day? 24. Perfect. Well done. I just put this little illustration because I think it's really quite useful. What it will do, shows you how a clock is actually just a number line up to 60. So each one of these intervals is equal to 1 minute. So this is 1 minute. So you can see, remember this fact, when we're counting you can see the intervals between each one of these larger numbers. Very helpful, and this is going to be helpful in tomorrow's lesson. Right, so what does the long hand represent? The long hand represents, or in this case the blue hand represents, the long hand represents Seconds, absolutely. And the shorthand represents hours. Have a look here. What happens to the hour hand as the minute hand moves around? Have a look. Absolutely, the hour hand moves around. The hour hand starts off here. I can see at 5 o'clock, and it's moved a little bit here to 1/4 past. So as the minute hands moved around, the hour hands moved a little bit more. When we go to at 1/2 past, it's moved a little bit more. You can see half. There's been a half turn, and then here you can see we've had it's 1/4 the next hour, but 3/4 of that hour has passed. See, fractions, they're everywhere. You can see this hour hand has moved on. So this keeps on happening 24 hours a day. So 60 seconds makes a minute, 60 minutes makes an hour, 24 hours in a day. As Dr. TikTok says, time does keep on tick-tocking away. So I'm going to go on to that straight away. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to go through some examples using one of these clocks. You might remember these clocks are a little bit temperamental, with their hands moving a little bit crazily, but they are give us a really good idea of how things work. So first things first, let's have a look with me. O'clock, 1/4 past, 1/2 past, 1/4 to. So remember that it's once we get past this 1/2 past mark, we are now looking to the next hour. So it's to the next hour. We'll look at that again in a minute. Right, so reading the time. I'm just going to put a time here on my clock. When we're reading in 15-minute intervals, your first steps is to see where the minute hand is. So remember, and you might want to write this down, or maybe use a post-it on the clock at home. O'clock, 1/4 past, 1/2 past, 1/4 to. So here, the quarters of the clock. Think of it like a pizza, like a cake. So where is my minute hand? My minute hand is at o'clock. Look at the hour hand. What is it pointing to? It's pointing to 3. Because so we would write, and we're going to write in words today. I don't want to see any numbers. It is 3 o'clock. It is 3 o'clock. Let's have a look at another example. This time we've moved on by 1/4 of an hour. So we would say it is, looking at the minute hand, it is 1/4 past. So in this case, remember we start writing the minutes fast. It's 1/4 past. 1/4 past, and where is our hour hand? It's pointing to. So it's, as you can see, it's just moved a bit beyond 5 because we've moved 1/4 of an hour past 5. So it's 1/4 past 5. We don't tend to write 15 minutes past. We tend to write 1/4 past. Let's have a look at another one. Let's look at another one. Minute hand. Where is our minute hand? It has moved halfway around our clock. So that must mean it is 1/2 past. And where is our hour hand? Well, it's in between 5 and 6. But we remember, while we still have the word past in our sentence, it is 1/2 past 5. We don't say it's 1/2 past 6 because it's moved halfway between 5 and 6. And let's do, I wonder what you can guess what the next example is going to be. We need to look at the minute hand. Where is it? Let's count round. O'clock, quarter past, half past, quarter to. So it's quarter to. So it's quarter of an hour to the next hour. Make sure you watch your spelling of quarter. It's quarter to. So it's quarter of an hour until our minute hand reaches o'clock. So you can see here our hour hand is almost at 6. So you can actually, we can definitely say we look to the next number. So it's not quarter to 5 because that means our hour hand will be there. It's quarter to 6. So it's a quarter of an hour until it is 6 o'clock. Good. The quarter to is the one which is going to be the one which the one is most kind of challenging. So let's do some, you're going to do some examples for me now. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and something to write with. If you don't have anything to hand, maybe you can just talk about it with an adult. So I want you to look at these clocks and I want you to write out in a full sentence what time these clocks are showing. So press pause now, and then when you're ready, press play because we'll get started on the next section. So the first one, 11:30. We can see here it is pointing at halfway around the clock. The next one, 10:15. So it's moved quarter of a way around the clock. And here's our tricky one. So remember, it's moved 3/4 of the way around the clock. So it's only a quarter of an hour until the next hour. And the next hour here is 5. Going to be quarter to, and the 2 ones that we're going to need to practice the most. Right. What do the other numbers represent on the clock represent? Why might our 5 times table be useful? Have a think. Have a think. So I'm going to switch my camera. Have a think. Right. Hopefully what you thinking about it, you've noticed, or maybe you've remembered, is that each one of these numbers represents an hour of the day. So you have obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know that there's 60 minutes in an hour, thanks to Dr. TikTok. Each one of these numbers, these intervals, is 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60 minutes in an hour. We know that. Thank you, Dr. TikTok. But there's also something which can help us. Here. If my minute hand is pointing here to this 1, I wouldn't say it's 1:05. I would say it is 1:05 because it is 5 minutes after 1 o'clock. 1 times 5 is 5. Let's have another look at another example. I wouldn't say, told you these clocks are temperamental. I wouldn't say here it's 6:04. Doesn't make sense. I would say it is 5, 10, 15, 20:06. It's 20 minutes past 6 o'clock. Look at this one. What time do you think it could be? Well, my minute hand is by the 8. 8 times 5 is 40. But do I say 40 minutes past? I'm looking at the minute, the hour hand. 40 minutes past 6. No. Remember, once we get to this magic half an hour, it becomes 2. So we would then count back in 5s from our 12. 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, times change. So it's 20 minutes to the next hour, which is, if it doesn't move, is 7. So it's 20 minutes until it is 7 o'clock. Might need to practice that, but once practice makes perfect on this one. So, as I was just saying, the magic number with time to remember is once you're beyond half past, it goes 2. So we have 5. So saying with me, o'clock, 5 minutes past, 10 minutes past, quarter past, 20 minutes past, 25 minutes past, half past, 25 minutes to, 22, quarter to, 10 minutes to, 5 minutes to, back to o'clock. Note that we don't say 15 minutes to, 15 minutes past. We don't. We just say, and we don't say 30 minutes past. We just say quarter, half. Not quite short. And 0 minutes past, we don't say that either. Might have a look at that actually, why, and I can tell you tomorrow. So this is a really, really important image to remember. So once we're past the half past, we are always telling the time 2. It's to the next hour. So I'm going to do 1 or 2 examples using the clock on my visualizer. There we go. Right. So we are going to do a first, we're going to do 1 or 2 examples, mainly going to focus on the beyond half past. So look at the minute hand. This is our step success. Look at the minute hand. Is it past or 2? So is it past our half past mark? No. So it is past. So we're going to count forward from 12 in 5s. So remember, 12 is what we can look at is 0 o'clock. It's 0 minutes past the hour. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I know that because 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So I would write, to get me started, it's 20 minutes past. And where is the hour hand? The hour hand is here. It's past 12. So it's 20 minutes after 12 o'clock. Again, we're going to write in numbers. We're going to write in letters, please. So let's do another example. Okay. Look at the minute hand. Is it past or 2? Look at the minute hand. You could even go follow it around here. It's past my half. It's past the half past point. I know it's going to be 2. Where is it? Ah, it's here. It's by the number 10. We don't say it's 10 past 5, 10 past 5 or 10. We don't say it's 10 past 5. We're going to count back from our o'clock, so which is 0, 5, 10. It's 10 minutes until 5 o'clock. Because we can see here our hour hand is pretty close to 5, and once we're past here, we're looking forward to the next hour. So we'd write it's 10 minutes to 5. Again, writing in letters, not numbers. Let's do one more example with 2. So, first step, where's my minute hand? Think about my magic point here, 1/2 Again, if you have access to a clock, get some post-it notes, stick them all over it. So let's have a look. Am I past my 1/2? Yes, I am. So I know it's going to be 2. So we're going to count back from 12. My 12 o'clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's 25 minutes to So it's 25 minutes until the next hour. Looking at here, oh, I can see my hour hand is actually a bit closer to 3. And it's so this means it is no longer, we're looking at 25 minutes to 3, not past 3 or past 2, it's to 3. It's 25 minutes until it's 3 o'clock. So you can see here, my clock has moved 25 minutes. So it's moved 5 intervals of 5. Say it's 25 minutes. If we had this clock at school, we could say it's 25 minutes until we need to be ready to go downstairs. Okay, right, let's go back. This is an example of what you will have in your independent task. So we're just going to do this one together quickly. So you need to look at the minute hand. Is it past or is it to? Remember, this is your point. If the minute hand is beyond that point, you know it's going to be 2. So looking here, it is how many minutes to? Counting back from our 12. So we're going to count back. So 12 is our 0 point. 5. So it is 5 minutes to, where's my hour hand? My hour hand is here. It's closer to it's 7. I can see it's close to 7, so that can really help me. So 5 minutes to 7. It's 5 minutes to 7. In the Turley household, that is time for Josh bath time. So now it's time for your independent task. I've put the clocks on the screen here, so you don't even need to look at the task sheet if you don't want to. Challenges on there if you want to challenge yourself. So you need to write the time on each clock in words. I'm going to repeat this again, in words. I would suggest that you focus on completing the first 4 of each task. If you need any help, have a chat with an adult maybe to read the clock. Have a look. As I said, I'm going to post some links online, links on the Home Learning website to some clocks for you to use them, and also some games. Looking forward to seeing your work on Seesaw. Please write the time in words. Brilliant. Have an excellent day and look forward to seeing you tomorrow for some more maths.